VODs. So, what are we gonna do today? A couple of things. First, I'm gonna show you a very early prototype of the clever integrated plate. After that, we're gonna be looking at some domes that he worked on. Bear in mind that both the plate and the domes are prototypes. The plate itself actually undergo a lot of revision between the production date and today, so some things have changed for the best. So I'll explain the differences between the prototype that I'm gonna show you and the final one. Domes as well, I have a plethora of different weights, but at the end of the day I think we're gonna settle on 3 options, just for the sake of simplicity and keeping the SKUs manageable, at least for now. After that, we're gonna be building a super early, like pre-alpha stage board that Upas from Canon Keys, the chief of Canon Keys, has been designing, which is a 980C layout board. It's gonna be full metal, and I think a lot of people will actually like it because it's very simplistic in a way compared to other custom keyboard designs. There is an accent piece that I think is very subtle, and I think many people will appreciate it. The case is in super pre-alpha stage because, first of all, the manufacturer for this precise prototype was JLC. He wanted to try out their services, and also some of the mechanical choices in the actual case will change. I have some regards on some design choices, but we are looking at them to solve the issues that we've determined are issues and make the design better. So let's start by closing down a little bit. Okay. So first of all, the integrated plate. This is basically the plate kit that is gonna be offered in the famous EC60X group buy kit. Some things changed, so take this system only as a showcase of what this can be used for. Some things that changed are, for example, some of the screw hole positions, because this was before the EC60X was finalized, and also other mechanical changes were made. So the reasoning behind making integrated plates was to have, kind of in the same spirit as the HG by Norbauer, have a integrated plate system that resembles HHKB typing feel. You could make like standard quote-unquote plates that could work with most cases, but that isn't really ideal. Reason being that R&D costs are high. Even if you do it with, like, for passion, and you are willing to sacrifice a little bit of like pay time to actually get to a final product. But at the end of the day, you want to maximize the usability for the sake of cost, but also the final user not having to buy 64,000 different plate systems. So thanks to the fact that the EC60X supports basically all the top mount, mid mount, whatever the hell you want to talk them, mounting system, the only thing that was left out was O-ring and tray mount. Tray mount is relatively straightforward in the sense that as long as you are aware that some screws in the mounting system are meant to be used as a through plate 2-case mounting system instead of the usual EC from the PCB to the plate assembly type, you're pretty much done. There are technical challenges with trying to accommodate both tray mount and normal mounting for EC, and that comes down to the fact that you have to have holes that can be used in both top down and bottom up direction when you're screwed in. Also, because of the fact that the EC60X has a bazillion of bottom row options, what is usually a mounting point for GH60 style tray mount, which is roughly here, it's not present. But with testing, I've determined that having the top 2 mounting points, so this one, the one here that is not present in this prototype on the PCB itself, but the plate has it. The center one that in this prototype is shifted, it should be here. And also the 2 side mounting ones. That's enough. It doesn't actually change anything whatsoever. Whether you use a cheap $5 AliExpress case, that's fine. Or if you want to go a little bit more premium, and that's what I envisioned for the EC60X initially, there's absolutely no difference. If you're using a metal case, the fact that it is a stiffer system, the case doesn't warp, the tolerances are very tightly controlled, you have a better overall experience. But nothing stops you from using literally a 5 USD KB Defense GH60 case. So tray mount is solved, not a biggie. The other thing that triggered a lot of people, and me as well, was O-ring. There are 2 things to keep in mind when talking about O-ring systems for EC. If you're using OEM parts, you have an issue with EC housings being too big. So as an example, we're gonna use a KLC housing. The outline rim, it's 1-to-1 with OEM parts. And the issue is that where the outline is on OEM style housings, that's usually where the O-ring would sit in a MX system. So the way to fix that, if you're using a metal plate, is to just cut away this section to make space for the O-ring. But if you're making your own plate, you have more freedom on the dimensions that you can have. So if you were to overlap this housing with a projection, let's call it a projection of what a 1U would look like, you can do pretty interesting stuff. In the initial design that we envisioned, we have a side channel that is carved on the edge of the plate. And here you would use a O-ring like this one. You would use a O-ring, and you would do basically the same procedure as MX. So you go around like this, and you basically just stretch the O-ring. There we go. So you'll see now we have an O-ring, and it matches with where the O-ring posts would be in the case design that you're doing. This PCB doesn't have the O-ring cuts, so you'll have to imagine that this is a O-ring opening, this is another one, and so on. So this system was interesting, but it had some minor issues. The issues that we encountered were very predominant in the Blue Ridge, where we have the blockers that are carved out. With this system, if you were to use a normal O-ring system, you would have the O-ring go basically sideways, like this. So we ended up making an internal channel for the O-ring, but it was very finicky to work with it. So we decided to go on a different route and actually use small inserts. So take out the channel and make inserts that you can plug in the positions that your case uses for O-ring. That solves some issues. First of all, the need for a very precise O-ring thickness to be able to fit in the design, but also it allows you to move them in the positions that you actually need. One thing that I noticed and that I thought was going to be an issue initially was that it is notoriously hard to take out O-ring assemblies, especially when the case is very tight. So because of how the system works, there's no real way you can take out stuff easily. So what I thought about doing was having sort of like openings in the plate where you can take a hex key. Usually hex keys come in like L-shape hex keys, and you basically just slide it into the plate. That way you have kind of like two pull tabs that you can take the board apart from. This system was interesting, but it evolved into a different design that it's much more refined, and also takes out less space in the plate, so it's easier to manufacture. One thing that you might have noticed is that because it's an integrated plate, the layout is fixed. So in the example of the EC60 kit or the derivative, which by the way is gonna go live in group buy, I think in 7-ish hours. I'll leave a timestamp and a link later. You basically have to decide which layout you want to use. I think if you're pretty used to EC, or you just know which layout you want to use, that's not going to be an issue. So keep that in mind. So this is a very early prototype. Again, I don't even have spacebar inserts in this, but just as a showcase, I wanted to give you an idea of what it would look like if you were to buy like one of these GH60 cases, or if you have like the upcoming Frog Leggera and Pesante from Geonworks, because it uses both O-rings and tray mount. Although depending on which model you have, like bear in mind that one is both, another one, the tray mount uses one version, there's the T and the G, I think they're called. One uses the onboard USB, the other one uses a daughter board. So choose whatever you want to use. So let's suppose this is a O-ring mount. You just plug it in and that's it. If it is a tray mount like this one, although I don't have the correct mounting positions for this prototype, you would basically just put it in. Okay. Okay. You would put it in, and then you know that this position this other position, the one in the middle, and then the two side ones are accessible for tray mount operation. You would just use the M2 screws that is provided with your case and just screw it in place. And at that point you have a tray mount EC option that you can plug in. Let's turn off the lights just for dramatic effect. And you would have like a pretty good looking board, let's say, you know. This is not too shabby, you know. Very interesting. Let's turn on the light. Okay. So one advantage of using the integrated plate system is that because you have control over the housing design, you can actually solve a lot of the issues that plagued EC over the years. First of all, GMK interference. GMK interference is due by a multitude of causes. First, the sliders needs to be slightly longer than non-silenced sliders to actually clear out the left and right of the EC housings. That is because canonically EC housings are 14 vertically by 14.6 horizontally, and that is just enough for some GMK sets to hit the sides. Then there's the issue on the R3 row of pretty much the same as cherry interference with GMK, where the profile is so steep that it would actually hit the housing. So in order to solve this, you can change the shape. Not sure how well this can be seen. Sorta? Yeah. So you can basically shape the housing differently, because you don't have to worry about carving out too much material as in a normal housing. In a normal housing, you have an internal wall that is like this, and then you have X amount of material like here. With this design, you can make the internal however you want. So if you were to do this kind of operation on a OEM style housing, you would need to do it in a certain angle and at a certain depth so that you cut away enough material to clear the interference, but at the same time not open the housing. With this, you can do pretty much whatever you want. And also, this was the first version. It worked quite well, but after that, we started to think more about what actually causes the interference. So while the slider will still work in the upcoming plate series, the actual shape of the top actually changed to be sure that no interference whatsoever happens with this type of plate systems. So here you'll see that this is 14 by 14.6. Later on we decided on another shape, and that was really the turning point for the plate system. So yeah, plate system, very cool. I really like it. If you know which layout you want, or if you are satisfied with the options, go for it. And on a note of the plates, there's actually an announcement, which is that, let me grab the link. The group buy for the derivative is actually opening in, I think, 7 hours ish. It opens at 6 a.m. my time, so I'll try to get a conversion. And you can go to Clever's website and take a look. So let's take a look. There we go. So there's the derivative kit, and you can also see here some of the changes that we've made. So first of all, because the derivative used a different system for the mounting, you'll see that thanks to the plate design, you can actually integrate mounting features based on the case design. So in the case of the derivative, you had tabs for the mounting system. We can also see some of the changes that were made. So first of all, the 2U design changed quite a bit. I'll try to zoom in. Not sure how much you'll be able to see, but you'll see that the top of the housing was skimmed down quite a bit, and that was to be 100% sure that no interference was happening. The shape of the 1U changed as well. It's a little bit more round, and that was to mitigate issues with variables in the thickness of the keycap and how that affects interference or like weird sounds. So if you want to grab the conversion kit for your derivative, it's gonna go live. So it's gonna be at 6 a.m. Rome time to, let's do Eastern time. So it's at midnight Eastern time, and convert to the other stuff. So this group by is only for the derivative. So if you have a derivative like the keyboard, this is a conversion kit specifically for that. It uses a standard-ish version of the EC60X, and that is because in the infinite wisdom of whoever designed the original PCB, they decided to put the H60, which is this one top right, JST, slightly lower than what the GH60 is. You'll see that this JST is slightly lower in the PCB that we're going to be offering, and that was just enough to not clear out the screw. So this is, for all intents and purposes, this is a EC60X, but it loses one screw hole here, and it moves the JST just a little bit. It will not have onboard USB, although you can solder one. The pads will be available. And also it will have custom silk screen. Nobody likes Eastern time. Let's go for, oh, you already posted it. So 11 p.m. Central time. There we go. Let's see chat. So the G60 support is gonna be the E60X plain and simple plate. So the one that I showed in the link was specifically for the derivative, but the universal plate system with like this footprint without the mountings around and all of that, that's gonna be compatible with tray mount. So you can just take this, put it in, there we go. You can put it in, then using M2, usually it's M2 screws, you can put one screw here, one screw here, one here, and then if you want two on the sides, and that's your tray mount. How does the new 2U housing shape play with, if at all, with someone? It doesn't change anything. So as I mentioned before, the actual sliders are fully compatible with the current design, and that was the key point. If you want to build with OEM, you can do it. If you want to build with MX sliders, you can do it. We accounted for the difference in height of the stem, as well as the fact that things need to go in a certain way. The thing that actually changed was the actual outside of the housing, and it changed to accommodate extra clearance. Also, one thing that if you are using a metal plate, you'll have to do in most cases is to flip the spacebar. So instead of having the wire come out at the bottom, you have to have it on the top. This plate already does that for you, so I'm not gonna take it apart, or I can take it apart later if we have time. But the wire actually goes along here on the internal, and there's all the necessary clearance for the wire to be flipped, and that is what allows you to drop this into Frog Mini Leggera, a GX60 random case, you know, whatever you want. There's actually someone in my server that dropped one into a Tofu 60. So let me check. Into a Tofu 60 2.0 with the flipped spacebar. There's a custom plate maker for it. So the sky now is pretty much the limit. Okay, so I guess next thing are the domes. And we have a bunch of them. So, for domes, I received quite a lot of them. So, in order of weights, these prototypes are as follows. From lightest to heaviest. In the current form, OEM 45 new sit right here. We try to determine the weights, even though it's not technically 100% correct. I need to do some more testing. The weighting is as follows, at least for these prototypes. So the yellow domes, let me zoom in. The yellow domes are 35 grams. The teal one are 43, blue are 70, green 118, and black are 150. Okay, I'd say in the current form, these are actually 1-to-1 with OEM 35 gram domes. Or 30, I'm getting confused, but you get the point. This, by feel, is basically 30. And that's why I'm saying that the numbers that I just gave you are numbers, but I have to properly validate them. This is basically 1-to-1 with my Real Force 91U 30 gram JIS. This one, you can feel it that it's heavier, but it's a tad bit lighter than OEM 45. And the jump from this teal color to blue is way bigger than you would expect. So what we're gonna be doing is actually, in a revision that we are working on, keep the mid 3 options, change the blend of the material and some technical things in the geometry. That way, this one will behave as 30 or 32-ish, okay? So this is gonna be the lightest option. Blue is gonna match OEM 45, and this green is gonna be 55, around that range. So this is the current goal. Then the plan later on is to have different tactility profiles, kind of like the carrots, so more binary behavior. But the quality of these prototypes are very high. Why the vent and all of that? So, good question. So first of all, why the 1x4 strips? Because they just make sense. If you don't like it, cope. Why the cool design on the top? Okay, so the design on the top takes from the flower design that Clever uses, and we have a vent simply because I always thought that having another point of exit for the air is better. OEM has a very wide air vent channel, and because the blend that they use is harder on the base than on the dome, you're pretty much guaranteed 100% of the time that even if you over tighten the assembly, the channels will be open. With silicone based materials and other blends, that's not always the case. So in the rare case that you over tighten the shit out of the assembly, the channels might be plugged. So this provides the additional reassurance that there is an escape route for the air. It doesn't change the sound because it's technically not an There we go. So in terms of which one I like more right now, I'd say that the one that I would use the most right now are the blues, but I think they are slightly too heavy. So that's also why we are gonna be making changes in the blend and the geometry so that the matching is more on point. But I gotta say, the blues are very responsive. The black ones are like Giga Chad level domes. Like, they are so heavy. They are immensely heavy. But they make good use for sussy projects that we may or may not be coming up with. Let's see, chat. Make centering the springs and ensuring steady spring compression throughout the travel so well. Yep, that's exactly it. Clicked in causes issue with actuation. Exactly. So one thing that you have going on with OEM domes is that because the base is flat, but it's still rubber, silicone, depending on which one you're using, if your coil is not perfectly flat, because usually coils have an angle, but the springs actually need the base and the top to have an angle for the spiral and then be flattened out. If it's not flattened out, it will have an inherent angle when you lay them down, and if you try to force them to be flat on the base, the tip of the edge of the spring will actually try to poke at the dome. That causes a bunch of other issues. I see there is an inlet under the center of the dome. Yeah, it works basically the same way as Lesky one. You can see that it's basically the same, with the added benefit that there's a vent hole in the middle. So overall, I gotta say, even though this is the first prototype round, the quality of the domes are very high. Like, there's no random ass overspill of the material. There's no inconsistency of the thickness of the dome. That's one thing that I'm really worried about with dome design, is that if the material is not consistent enough, like the material is not thick equally on the entirety of the dome, when you're pressing down, it will buckle first in the section where there's less material, because it's just how physics works. But here, try to press it down. Can I press it down and have you look at all directions? Roughly. So you'll see that the buckle section is equally round, let's say, on the entire dome. And that means that the thickness of the material is equal. It's insanely good. Let's say if my 45, I think I picked a good batch of the 45. Yeah, this 45 is good. Let's try to exaggerate it a little bit. Yeah, kind of like this. So this section is basically razor thin. That means that there's not enough material there. One thing that I'm not sure we're gonna be doing, simply because the parts are just kind of garbage, is have the same cut line on the top for RGB parts. To be honest, whatever. Like, to be honest, whatever. I don't think a single person actually used it for RGB, and probably you shouldn't be using it anyway. Like, straight up. Yeah, so we have a bunch of them. Mainly the blue and the teal one. I'm not sure how many of each we have, so we'll have to do some math when we are building the board. Exactly. Like, if you're spending that much money for Dusky's domes, I suppose you want a build that is not rattly and like kind of garbage. Like, yeah, you take out GMK interference and you can use MX keycaps and all of that, but like, let's be real. 99% of China who actually buys from Dusky's, they do matrix with Dusky's parts and like other parts, or just straight up OEM. So it's a non-existent use case, or at least like 1 in 1,000, you know. Okay. You are the exception, BA. Now, for the next segment, we have that board that I talked about. Let me know if you can still hear me. So, Metal 980, not the official name, like at all. An interesting design. Hi Pontus. That's a big carrying case. Yes. Yes. Zoom in. 980. 980. Ooh. Let's add it. 980. Ooh. There we go. Hello, Gawk. How you doing? Boop. So, screws. Because, of course, EC equals screws. Plate. Do not judge the layout. Opus was literally, hey, can you send me a random ass layout to make a plate? And I went with split backspace because why not? And OEM style, like 6U bar for the bottom row, unified, ANSI. And then for the numpad, the enter key is a full size, because why not? For PCB, we are gonna be using the EC 980, and this is the version 1.1. Changes from the 1.0 are that the JST is moved up towards the center of the PCB slightly, so that there's enough clearance for some specific cases. The plate has like the usual tapped holes. And we have already the screws prepared in a geom bag because it's the only one that I could find. And speaking of screws, yeah, the lighting is all over the place. Speaking of screws, because of the EC180, I have like 5,000 screws ready, because why not, you know? Although I'm a bit sad, not gonna lie, because they are hex key, and I am a Torx shill. Torx should be the only correct screw head to be using. But yeah, they were not available when I made the purchase. Torx is top. Hex sucks balls. Okay, if I were to use smiley screws, people would actually kill me, unironically. They would say, oh, a smiley screw, how fun. And then they see that there are like 35 of them. They would 100% kill me. So, bear in mind again, JLC Proto, the actual mechanical design will be changed. It's just for having a, you know, an idea of what we want to do. And don't be scared, Upas built it with MX because he wants to have it MX as well. But it is EC first. Let's turn up. There we go. So, as you can see, front lip, 980C layout, holes for the indicators, because of course, it will have a USB hub. The actual design, so how big the bezels are, the fact that here we'll have a badge or an engraving, we'll see. So it will have something there. Is basically the final one. How the accent piece work and how far apart the ports will be, we're still deciding how that will play out. It will have a gigantic sticker on the back, and it uses James Fit because it's the only correct choice. Not sure how well I can show it. I gotta go at an angle. This is the side profile. I don't have a wide enough lens, sorry guys. Also colors, disregard the color, colors will be decided later on. So I guess first thing, we take out the MX build. So the mounting style will be either top mount or gasket mount, but because of how the board needs to put back together, there's gonna be actually Fujifilm, hello. Okay, there's gonna be like a mid piece, like a bar that you use to properly align the plate. The goal of that specific bar is to have the perfect alignment without having alignment pins that will make contact with the plate. So it's a big. Okay. So I think we can start to put together the plate and housing and then give it a try. Okay. So for parts, we are gonna be using KLC with 0.3, I think, silencing rings that are pre-applied. And for the domes, we are gonna be using the clever ones. Which section of the plate is gonna have which weight, it's a thing that I still have to figure out. So we'll see what I come up with. actually flip it like this. Some of the sliders are coming off. No! Shadows are popping out. The playlist is popping off today. By the way, I'm sure some of you already know it. March 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, there's gonna be the Korean Keyboard Expo in Seoul. So if you're in Korea at the end of March, be sure to come by, because there's gonna be a lot of interesting people. There's gonna be, of course, all the vendors and the artisans who have announced that they are gonna go. Plus, I'll be there as well. Clever is gonna be joining me. And I know Bo from Bo Keyboards is gonna be there as well. So a bunch of people are gonna go. Thank you for stopping by, Jason. Have a good one. Yeah, there's gonna be all the usual Korean people and designers. That's given at this point. There's gonna be also some manufacturers. I know that DDS is coming. I'm not sure about others, but I mean, DDS coming was pretty much a given. Based on the fact that basically every single human being have used it at some point. It just made sense, you know. So yeah, if you're in Korea, end of March, come by. I'll probably not bring any board because I have to like take so many flights and my allowance for the baggage are all over the place. Plus I'll be away basically like almost a month and a half, so I can't really bring keyboards with me, especially because the Korean leg of the trip is gonna be like the first one, so carrying around like even 4 kilos of keyboards is gonna be kind of a pain. So yeah, I thought about shipping, but to be honest, the hassle of like setting up all the documentation for explaining to them that it's not a export import for stuff to be sold, and then I'm just doing it to basically not have to carry around stuff, is just too much. So I'll bring PCBs. I think we'll have some boards. Clever, I know, is gonna be bringing some boards. So yeah, PCBs are gonna be the main focus. I think by the time the meetup happens, we'll have the Minimi 40 EC sorted, because I know for sure that there is a Minimi 40 in Korea because Gion built it. And also Keeb has them on hand, so. Also, I think for the units that will go on sale of the Metal 980, the plate material is not going to be stainless steel, but it's gonna be either brass or copper, just to try something new. We like to switch things up a little bit every now and then. For the 980, not yet. Like, as I said, it's very alpha stage. Like, the case design is not finalized. We know already, though, that the PCB, of course, is gonna be the 980 980C, the one that I developed and it's sold at Canon Keys. So it's gonna be a complete kit. It will have the keyboard, the keyboard case, the plate, all the bits and screws and all of that. PCB is included, daughterboard with the USB hub and all of that is included, as well as parts. So sliders, domes, all of that. So it's gonna be a one-stop for 980 layout style. But it's gonna happen this year. That's for sure. I gotta check with Upas, but I guess they'll have. Let me check if I have some logs that I missed. 1 second. We'll see. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, this works. A little bit in the middle. No. Yeah, actually, this could work. Now we've done it. Let's go. Nice. Oh no, we need to... Fuck. Yeah, we need to do steps. So, yeah. And we're back. Okay. So, yeah. So, let me grab the link. It's in chat. There we go. Copy, paste. It's on Clever's website. So for the time, it's gonna happen at 11 Central, I think it was. So 6 AM Rome time, 11 PM Central time. And then you can convert it to whatever time zone you're in. Right now it's marked as sold out. So, oh hi Clever. Okay, now what do we want to do? No, it's like the kit with plate, PCB, parts. Clever can tip in all the details now that he's in chat. Yeah, like no keyboard. So, do we want to use the heavier ones for the alphas? And then the rest? Let's test it out. So this goes here. Then this is 4. This is 4. This is 2 that I need. But then there's the escape key that's going with this. So I'm gonna use ePBT Simple Ja for the keycap set. So do we want a heavier dome? You know what? Let's try this. Yeah. So here I need to cut away 1. And I need a scissor. Okay, so this goes here. This goes here. Then I need 2 here, 1 there, and 1 goes to this one. So 2 here. 1 and 1. One and 1. Why there's a 45-gram dome here, I don't know. This is the teal one, like the second heaviest, so second lightest. So I've shown before the weight thing. There we go. So I'm using this for Afro and numpad, and arrow keys, and then for the alphas I'm using the blues. What makes this clever? Let's zoom in. Mega zoom. Yep, it's flipped. There we go. There we go. And the flower, very nice. So this goes here. This is a lonely survivor. Yeah, they are. I went through the all the weightings and like the fact that we talked about doing slight changes to keep the 3 middle ones as the effectively like the gold ones to actually run. And because we are making those changes that we talked about, that I'm not gonna disclose because I'm not sure how much we're gonna say. But yeah, basically after the changes, they're gonna be roughly the same as OEM counterparts in terms of weight and feel and all of that. So 3 and 4, this one goes there. This goes here. 3 and 4. As of now, review for the cut sections, very nice. They work perfectly. Plus, the fact that even in between domes, they have the little cut to be at 45, it means that there's no interference between the middle ones. That's very nice. A thing that I have with OEM domes is that I really like to have, whenever two strips touch each other in the middle of the board, I like to have the round edges touch together, because I've noticed that whenever you try to cut them or take pre-made 1x4 strips, this side is always a tad shorter than the like right angle side, and that allows for alignment to be always perfect. That's one thing that I've noticed. And so this, having the sides properly done, So we'll prop up like this. Okay. And they sit perfectly in between the housings. It's super flat, very nice. The tolerance between one strip and the other. So, in other terms, like how precise the repetitiveness of the distance between like the inner domes and the outer domes is on point, because otherwise what you will see is, because they are very tight, what will happen is you're basically having a sum of errors that will basically just have the last dome be like this, for example, because there's like 0.5, plus 0.5, 0.5, and so on. So it adds up to not being able to align correctly at the end. The black ones were 150 grams, which is kind of funny. Oh, I need to clean this dome because it has stuff on it. Okay. Yeah, and sorry, even when you cut them and they need to align at an angle, so straight and 90-degree rotation, here, usually OEM 1U, they are all over the place. So another detail that I like, when I build with OEM, I have a fixation of taking straight angle and straight angle for 2U, because I've noticed that because they are slightly longer, they grab on the housing better. But one issue is that in this case, for example, or even this, if they are too large, they would touch the top and bottom row and the neighboring rows, basically. So for the 1Us, I'm using 0.3 boron. For the 2Us, 0.5. Just so everyone knows. And even here, and on the enter key, the alignment is perfect. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, springs. springs, I have no idea which springs these are. I think they are China springs, I'm not sure. Opus sent them. And they are, oh my god, it's so good. The game to align the springs. Okay, for this one, unironically, there's some stuff. Okay, for this build, I will not do my signature technique of taking the PCB and just tapping tapping the springs. I'll not do that this time. I want to test as a like a pleb, a noob that just follows the guide, doesn't have time to watch the entire VOD because let's be real, I take so fucking long to build boards, and they just skip through the video and they're like, oh, before no springs, after rings, so 2 + 2 springs go on dome, you know. It's kind of like the same thought process that engineering students for mechanical engineering have during their mechanical system class, where they're like, oh, big metal piece broke off, metal strong, so let's make metal thicker, no more break. Ooga booga, metal strong, you know. That's usually how engineering works. First we make it thicker, then shorter to compensate, and after that we cry because we need to change material to a more exotic one and spend 5 times the budget. That's usually how it goes. These springs definitely have some kind of coating, or they've not been washed, because I can 100% smell and feel on my fingers the machining stuff. That particular smell that you can only recognize if you step foot on a CNC floor. That coolant smell. Also, very nice addition to the toolbox. The like thingy here that people use to replace keyboard, like laptop keyboard keycaps. Because it's plastic, I can use it to tap things without worrying that the tip was magnetized at one point. So I can just use it to tap it and just put it in place, you know. Also, speaking of springs, like EC in general, more than springs in particular, I've noticed that a lot of people are actually like asking streamers to have their Type K EC built. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. To be honest, I wasn't expecting so many people to actually pick up the EC kit. I wasn't sure that people would receive the kit so well, so positively. First, because the board is like, it's not a cheap board. First of all, the EC kit, the complete kit, was also not cheap. Gotta be honest. But I've seen so many people pick it up actually. So it makes me very happy that people like it. And also a lot of them, this is actually their first EC. Like not even EC as in custom EC. It was their first EC ever. Not even tried an HHKB, they just saw the EC kit and they were like, oh, that's interesting, I'm gonna buy it. Especially in China. I joined Xiaohongshu just for fun on a new account, not my my older account. After the TikTok ban went on, and I randomly stumbled upon someone that sent like they published a picture of their Type K, and I liked the post. I was like, whoa, that's interesting. Let's see. My Virgo ended up probably being my most expensive board in the end, as I converted that to EC now. Yeah. Yeah, the kit was actually very interesting. For the Vero, we worked, me and James. Actually, the idea of the EC kit was actually in the air ever since round one, but it was a little bit too late to delay the R1 to make the changes needed. So we just said, hey, like if R2 ever happens, just like send a DM and we'll figure it out. But the Virgo was like, hey, do you guys have any other boards that you would like to convert? And they proposed the Virgo, and I was like, okay, send over the model. I'll check if it's doable without changes. Because the second run wasn't in the plans. So either it fit or it doesn't. But it actually did. So that was a pleasant surprise. There are so many springs in the 980. Holy moly. I bought the Type B hoping for EC, but it was ANSI only. Yeah, the idea was to have like fixed HHKB. It has stepped caps on the PCB, I think. But yeah. The chat is not delayed, I'm just hyper slow reading through it. Are those clever domes? Yes, they are. What domes are they similar? I'm gonna show you. Gotta go eat dinner. Okay, bye bye. Are the springs we were talking about getting made? Which ones? Send DM. Send DM. Then regarding those ones, I mean it's Chinese New Year, so I'm not sure. I gotta ask. But like the other one that I sent you the quote for, the ones that we weren't sure about the MOQ number was right or not, I'm gonna meet them when I go to China. So I mean, hopefully we have something going on before that date, because I'm gonna be in China April 1st to basically the end of the month. But I plan to do all the manual stuff as soon as I get there. So originally I wanted to do like 2-3 days in Shenzhen. But yeah, because things happened and like menus actually were okay with me going to their place, I think I'll stay a little bit longer. I'll do at this point 50-50 menu and meeting others people. So for the weights, who asked? One sec. Niku. So for weights, this is the current weight comparison. So from lightest to heaviest, this is OEM 45. Right now, OEM 45 sits in between the teal and the blue ones. The yellow ones are, in my opinion, 1-to-1 with OEM 30 gram. So this is pretty much gold for now. This is 100 and something grams, like insanely high. The goal now is, with the revision that we are making, to take out this because of material costing and all of that, and we keep these three options, these three base hardness materials. We change a little bit the geometry and the thicknesses so that this becomes 30, or like around that option. This one gets slightly lighter so that it goes to 45 OEM comparison. This is like the heavier 55. Reason being, lighter blends, like with lower hardness levels, they are more expensive. So if you can lower the cost by using more standard or like more average hardness figures, what you can do is play with the geometry, achieve the same perceived feeling, so that you basically have that effect. So round up, the weight is not 100% correct, but to give you an idea of how they scale between one another, yellow is 35, teal is 43, blue is 70, green is 118, and black is 150. So in this context, this is the teal, and it's 43, more like 40 in my opinion, and the blue ones are 70. Is this why you joined Xiaohongshu? Yeah, 100%. Like, for the new account, yes. Because I had an account prior to the all the TikTok stuff happening, but it was for like personal stuff. I wanted to have like a blank experience with this new account. It's crazy. There are a bunch of EC people. I've joined like randomly with this new account a group. There are like some whales of a board in that chat, like super rare stuff and weird conversions. Not gonna lie, if you join with a new account and you start to train the algorithm to follow the Chinese people that do like classes and stuff, you'll probably get good quality stuff. I would probably avoid the ones that teach you like app specific stuff. So there are a couple of people that I've seen that they first explain to you like the meaning of the stickers. So like, for example, that the smiley one isn't really like a smiley one, but it's more of a fake smile, like haha, yeah, sure, okay, you know, that kind of thing. But there's some good stuff, I'd say. Okay, now one thing that I need to decide now is if I want to use stepped caps or normal caps. But I'm not sure what I have going on in my kits. Let's see. I think I have all of them because I have EPBT Simple Ja with everything, because I remember seeing it in my keyboard of all places for like 40 bucks, the entire set, like extensions, numpad, base kit, localized stuff, like it was crazy. You know what? Yeah, the IO 3 set, yeah. Because I think there is a normal control key, like non-step, but I think there's a control key also as a step cap in one of the extensions. I'm not sure though. In the extension, no, in the extension there's R1 random ass stuff. In R2 there is caps, stepped windowed, stepped caps, normal caps. Yeah. What do you say, guys? Should we do stepped and not care about the fact that it says caps instead of control, or use a normal control that actually says control on it? I'll leave it to you. Step. Okay, step it is. Step it is. So let's be sure that this is all the way to the left. Okay. And yeah, the alignment here is perfect. Let's see. So I've taken some pictures. This is how the spring looks. Like, they are, oh, got him. Xiaohongshu notifications coming through. So yeah, they are perfect. Like, holy moly. They are perfect. I love these domes. Hell yeah. Okay, so let's close this up. Very nice, I love this. My visa is now revoked. Joke's on you, I don't need a visa for almost nowhere. Like, it's mad crazy. Italian passport is unironically probably the best reason to actually get or like be born in Italy or having Italian citizenship. Okay, now I'm gonna do something very dangerous. This was scary. I mean, yeah, but I can just do the one online. like the pre-registration, and that's it. Like, I don't need a visa in the sense that I don't need to send out a visa request to the embassy, you know. Like, for example, so things like the KETA or like the Japan arrival card, like all of those things, I don't really consider them like visas, even though they are like ETAs and visa on arrival and all that shit. Like, for me, no visa means I don't have to send documents to an embassy, you know. I consider paying a fee, kind of like the ESTA for the US, acceptable, you know. Because at the end of the day, like, unless you're a criminal or like you said some weird ass shit on like X or any other social media, and then you board a plane and you're on the watch list, like, no way they're gonna deny it, you know. As long as you're true in your request, there's nothing to worry about. Okay, I know that the alignment is perfect on the springs because when I laid down this big ass PCB, I didn't hear a single spring noise. Very nice. Yeah, so basically everywhere I go, I can stay for pretty long times without a visa, which is pretty good. Like Japan, I can stay up to 90 days, and as long as I get out and like get in, it gets renewed automatically. Of course, if you boost the system, like that's gonna trigger checks. Like Japan, 90 days, Hong Kong, 90 days, South Korea, 90 days, China, until November of last year, it was 15 days visa free for any purposes. So like tourism, cultural exchange, studies, even for like brief exchanges of studies. If you are enrolled, you need a student visa. There was also something about trade. So like what I have to do when I go to China is consider trade, commercial trade. It's like business trip, basically, what we would consider business trip. That was all covered under 15 days visa free. Now, after our president, like the Republic president, not the PM, went to China, they actually extended it out of nowhere for another year until end of 2025, and they added another 15 days. So now I can stay up to 30 days in China for any reason, which is pretty pog. Pretty pog indeed. In fact, I'm staying longer than I initially anticipated in China because of this change. Because otherwise I would have stayed there for less time. Because I couldn't stay longer, legally. One thing that worries me, though, is that because before you had to have like an itinerary of where you're going and all of that sent out to the embassy as part of your visa application, now because I have visa-free entry, I don't have to have that, you know? But at the same time, I feel like having everything printed even if the bookings and all of that is made online, it's probably for the best. So I'm already printing out all the itinerary and all of that, so that if they ask me stuff, I'm prepared. I don't want to be held somewhere, you know. Yeah, exactly. Especially because I'm not really versed in like all the situation that happened. But like I remember there was like a big fuss. 1 second, I'm trying to get this crew. There was a big fuss at one point about hotels not allowing check-in for foreigners, even though they had everything booked. They, of course, had a receipt and everything. They already provided like they knew that they were foreigners coming in because they provided like a passport number and all of that. But like I had a couple of friends that were denied like check-in in some hotels, and actually it was like it got so weird at some point that the central government had to issue like a notice through their like internal affairs ministry to basically they must allow foreigners to check in. Like it was kind of weird, not gonna lie. But yeah. So 100% one thing that I will do when booking is specify, like in the special request form, I will specify both in English and in Chinese. I'll have someone help me translate. Like that I'm a foreigner. If there are any issues with check-in and all that, to just let me know and I'll, you know, I'll plan accordingly. You know, basically, if you have an issue with me checking in, just like not even take my reservation and I'll just sort it out. You know, that's basically it. I don't want to cause any trouble. I'm a guest in someone else's property and country, so I don't want to create any friction. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. It's interesting that I mean, probably they do it anyway. That they don't speak like the weird mix of English and Chinese. Though it really depends on like how old they are. If they are like 50-ish, they probably don't do that. But if they are like Gen Z and all of that, they probably are more versed in doing that. So, one thing that we will do right now is do the calibration. have a light. So let's go in via. I need to calibrate this 100%. Let's start by via. Connect. So layout, split backspace, split plus, and that's pretty much it. One thing that I will do though is change this to escape and change this backspace. No, not backspace. Tilde key. This is backspace. This is control. Caps lock. This is delete. Okay. Wicked. So just to show you, if I turn it off, this defaults. This is an interesting feature of this PCB, and also I think we'll have this on the Lithium. I gotta check. If you disable the function of the indicator, what the board will do is follow whatever effect you have here. So cycle, it goes into rainbow mode. If you re-enable it as numlock, it will stay there. And if I disable it, it returns to the cycling. One sec. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have a calibration because I didn't work on that PCB. That's it. Only my PCBs have the calibration stuff and like all of these features. I'm not sure. Most likely they were like too quick in what they were doing. But yeah, I didn't work on that PCB, so that's why I had to jump in and just say, hey, it doesn't have it, just to avoid confusion. Okay. I think I already did the arrows. Let's see. Oh, and numlock goes on and off. Okay, it works. Nice. So we can unplug it and put it inside of the board. Unplug. Okay, done. So because we are using the case, even though the USB hub, the hub isn't connected, we're gonna be using that daughter board. Okay. So first, we're gonna be connecting the top with that gasket stuff. I'm gonna find the screws. 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna be using 1, 2, and 3 to have actual gasket. Because if you use the other screw points, you basically are just doing top mount. Yeah, 980. So I'm not sure. Okay. Now we changed the hex bit. Yeah, okay, so again, bear in mind, I've told this in the beginning of the stream. Like, this is, first of all, JLC PCB quality CNC machining. Just because we wanted to have something to test. Second of all, mechanically it will change quite a bit. The exterior will remain pretty much unchanged. So like the design language is this. Usually when you think about 980, you think about like either the chunky plastic cases or like gigantic boards like the Norbauer ones. So not really a slim option, you know. So basically, Opus what wanted to have with this design was a lightweight design, lightweight in the sense of the language of the design, not really that it's light, like mass-wise. ISO can die in a fireball. I want to make it harder for you guys to use ISO, so I'll hide like the Kojima code to enable ISO as a layout option. Cope. Sorry guys. You just got bamboozled. Nah, no. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Imagine not fucking up the spacebars. Your enter will always sound nicer than yours. Get out of here. That's just false information. Sounds like a cope. Okay, so let's see. Extension. Oh, speaking of No, this doesn't look right. This looks right. Minus goes here, then plus. Where's dot? Dot? Oh, there's also 5 index. Nah, we don't need it. It's garbage. Sharpie align. I have a bunch of keys around, and I'm not sure where they go. Not gonna lie. I mean, can you blame them for not reaching MOQ? I don't. Reaching MOQ now is hard. And to be honest, some sets I'm not even sure how the hell they reach like public view, you know? Like there are some stuff that are like, why the hell are this even being made? Like Jim K Hippo, for example. Like, yeah, okay, nice colorway, whatever. Like, why would anyone buy that instead of literally any other set? You know? Oh, hell yeah. Okay, this doesn't fit here. Whoops. But we have shift. Then we have return enter. Unironically, this keycap set is fire. Oh, this is the wrong size, because this is control of 1.5. Then Alt, and all of that. I think I swapped this too. Actually? No. No, they're right. Yeah, this is control. None of that. This is 1.5. All of this. Okay, so 4 for this. I actually need the F keys though. Where the hell is there F keys? This is numpad. This is JIS ISO. This is extension kit. What the hell is the extension kit doing? R1, R2. It's a bunch of stuff. This is macro. I think I gotta open the box. Okay. Now we need the shifty shift here, which is perfect. Now we gotta find what else? We need to find these two, which in R4. So we need the pipe, but the pipe doesn't exist in this set. So the actual alternative is this, the yen sign. So this is what the pipe would be. So we place the pipe here, and now we need the lead in a 1.5. 1.5 R3. Do I even have it? Yes, we do. Oh, nice. I do. Man, this set is so fucking big. It's amazing. Hello, Latam Keys. And I love AIO3, man. I love him. Okay, now I need to figure out this, which, whatever the hell those are. Because the normal set only shows like extension stuff. Like it's for TKL. I guess I can use shit from the numpad. But the numpad is R4 and it doesn't actually have like all of those stuff. We'll see. So let's remember ourselves just quickly. What is the key map? Because I want this to be like real. So this is FN. Is there a FN key or like function in the set? Yeah, I guess I can. Guess I can do this and this here. Then I need Alt keys. For Alt key. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. This is function, it's okay. This is control, okay. This should be Windows key. So let's start by removing what is not actually a function. This is not the correct profile. Also, it's not the correct key. Like, at all. Let's see if there are boards with Winky that uses this. Okay, it actually used a Windows key. I don't think I have it. Yeah, they use Windows keys, man, so what the fuck? Is this even the correct? Yeah, this is correct. Here they should go Windows keys, but I don't think they, like, I have them in the set, like, at all. Like, at all. Completely. Also, I think this is gonna be like macros. Fuck it. Yeah, that's gonna be macros. I don't care. Yeah, the extension kit, I don't think it has like anything that I would want to use. Function? Do we want to use F or M? Let's go with M. Oh no, the M are actually profiled. Yeah, fuck, we're gonna be using the F now. Okay, what do we want to do with this? I mean, it was pretty obvious, you know? Like, man, it wasn't that big of a secret. Why the hell would I want a caps on R1? What the fuck? Okay, it has way more keys than I think I ever need. But also, why the fuck would you want caps on the bottom row? What? I'm so confused. Okay, shift. We don't need this. We don't need return. We don't need another return. There are so many key sets, man. Man, my knowledge of kanji is very limited. Like, extremely limited. What the hell is this? Oh, this is blocked. We don't need this. Oh, this is... It turns up that one. This is another shift. Control. Huh? What the hell is this? This is end. Well, we can use this. It's not really correct, but... Do we have another one? No. Because why would we? Man, I'm losing my mind. Also, this is not the correct thing. Is this the correct one? Yes. Okay, so we need something that is like that. Is this even the same profile? Yes. This is not the correct profile. This is not. These are too big. Too small. This is shit that we already told that. This is too flat. This is flat. This is okay. This is okay. So these are the options. So, it's kind of fucked though. I mean, you know what? We can use the switch one. Because literally just because they are equal. Like they have the same kanji. So the other ones they don't have the same kanji. Yeah, no. They are different, yeah. Okay, they don't actually make sense, but at least they match. So, free tech tip, do not bring this board to Japan or you will be marked as unworthy. Rightfully so. Okay. Let's clean up a little bit. Okay. So, this is how the board looks. Very nice, I'd say. I like that the bezels are not gigantic. And once again, the design is not final, it's just an initial prototype idea of what this will be. You know. I think the goal of trying to have a 980 layout that is not like gigantic was well done. Also, the system, even if it is in very early stage of design, the system, to be sure that even in gasket mode this doesn't have misalignment, so the key is actually pretty well centered. If it looks like misaligned, is either because it's tilted the keycap or because of warping of the lens. In person, it's pretty on point. So let's turn off the music a little bit. Oh, you can definitely feel the difference in the dome weight. I gotta say, the blue ones, the sound is very nice on the bottom out of the keys. Very nice. Yeah, I feel the blue when we have the weight tuned in, they are perfect. Yeah, the keycaps are not perfect. Also, I'm using 0.3 rings instead of 0.5, so that's why the 2Us sound way more like dampened than all the rest. Oh, these are lighter domes. No, they're not BKE. They are the clever domes. But, not gonna lie, the blue ones, they have sorta the same weight response. Although rounder, of course. But they are very nice, I gotta say. Yeah, the spacebar, even without the spring, it's fine. Yeah, they are slightly rounder. I think that because I don't have 0.3, sorry, 0.5 rings, they are harder than they should. But not gonna lie, very nice. Okay, you know what? Probably I will put this in my snow and use that when I am away. I'll probably do that, unironically. They're very nice. Oh, they're very consistent. That's one thing. Also, indicator. Caps lock. Let's caps lock, and then there's scroll lock somewhere. I don't have it assigned. Yeah, this is very nice. Key tester. Reset. Yeah, don't worry. Oh, Windows moment. Desk is pink V3. V3 pink. Which weight is the pink? That's V3. Pink is 42. I think this one's. So the teal one. I never tried them, so yeah, but because I have the blue ones, and the blue ones are significantly higher. Purple, I tried them one time, and they are slightly more than OEM. So yeah, I think the teal ones. So this one. Yeah, it feels about right. Yeah. Yeah, though keep in mind that because we are still trying them out and all that, like whatever matching colors I've showcased today, they're probably not gonna be the same when they go live. Who will be stocking them? That's a question for Clever, who's in chat. Yo, wait, what? Yo, 30% off? 30% off? Hell yeah. Woza. There we go. What is this? What the fuck? War crime. Stop it. Man, why the hell would you do that? Why? Why? This must be a Photoshop. This must be a Photoshop. It can't be real. Why the hell? Oh my god, it's real. It's real. Because this is straight. While the case It's not. Oh my god, it's actually real. Fucking hell. Why? Why? Can I ban decoy? Ban message? No, I want to ban decoy. Grr. I can't. I don't have powers. Oh, would you look at that? No, I didn't. Would you look at that? I'm 100% sure that's gonna be a, hey guys, do you have some recommendations for a GMK Pro? Oh, cat. Fluffy. Anyway. We should start petition. Yes. 100%. Right now. Okay, so this is just a preview. Things will get much more fine-tuned and all that. But yeah, if you are interested in a 980 that is EC, that you can customize the layout however the hell you want. Most likely there's gonna be like a default plate, but I'll have a plate maker if you want to make your own plates with whatever layout you want. Just keep an eye out for a 980 option from Canon Keys. I'm not sure when it's gonna go live and everything like that, but it's gonna happen 100%. It will have case, the EC 980C PCB, hopefully with correct timing, the clever parts, because they are very good. I'm very happy that we are working together to have things done properly for these parts. So yeah, keep an eye out. It's worth, if you want a very simple 980C with USB hub, because it's always useful, you know, dongles, whatever you want. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Another reminder that today Clever can probably do another in X hours. For the drop of the group buy for the derivative kit, 3.5 hours. There we go. Then the link. I'll get it first. I'll get it first. There we go. The link is in the chat. Reminder that March 21st to 23rd, there's gonna be the Korean Expo. If you're in Korea, hop in. Sorry. If you're not, just support the people that go there, and yeah. Thank you everyone who joined today. Let's say if let's say if there's someone that is doing keyboards. Otherwise we'll raid chickens. We'll see. What is going on here? Keyboards? Yes, keyboards. Alright, we'll raid. Raid. Actually, let's do the raid message first. Raid message. Okay, this is the raid message, and let's do the raid. Raid CGBUEN. Should work. Does it work? Yes. All right. Again, thank you everyone who joined. I'm not sure if there's gonna be anything else to stream before we have any other new parts and stuff. So yeah, thank you again everyone who joined, and have a good one. Bye.
Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just kidding. Sibula, thank you for the raid. So did you have a good do you have a second to hear about the good word of EC in the Church of Rubber Cup Walk? William, thank you for the follow. Oh shoot, this is a 60. Damn it. Alright, there was more that we had to do.